Charles Law looks at the relationship between volume and temperature. Charles' Law can be found right below Boyle's Law on your formula sheet. And Charles' Law is initial volume divided by initial temperature. That's going to equal the ratio of your final volume divided by your final temperature. So when you're plugging in for your formula, V1 over T1 equals V2 over T2, several things could be asked of you. You would have 3 knowns and 1 unknown. So I could ask you to solve for V2, which means that you would be given your initial volume, you would be given your initial temperature, and you would be given your final temperature. This is where you're going to again practice isolating your variables, and I'll show you what those look like step by step in the actual videos for the practice. What you want to also be aware of is that any time that you're dealing with Charles's Law, any time that you're dealing with a formula that has temperature, the temperature must be used in the formula as Kelvin. So if you look at your formula sheet, you have your conversion factor of Celsius to Kelvin or Kelvin to Celsius. This is most likely the one that you're going to use most often, and this one would be that you're starting with your degree Celsius. So this would be the information given to you in a problem where they would tell you here's the temperature in Celsius and you would plug it into this formula. You would then add 273 to get your answer in Kelvin. Kelvin is the only unit that you can use if you see a temperature variable for any formula. If for some reason the question asked for your final answer to then be converted to degrees Celsius, once you get your temperature from the formula, once you solve it all, then you would do an individual separate step going from Kelvin, subtracting 273 to get your answer in Celsius. But this one that I'm putting blue stars next to is the formula that's going to be most important for you using any of the formulas on the gas laws sheet, because anytime that you see the variable T for temperature, it had to be in Kelvin, which means that any of your initial temperature, any of your final temperatures must be plugged in as Kelvin. So as we go through every practice problem, I'll show you what those look like.